Welcome back to Skytech-Lens. When the United States, Canada, and Mexico won the bid to host the 2026 World Cup, the slogan was, United 2026. It promised a continent-wide festival of football, a seamless tapestry of cultures stretching from Vancouver to Mexico City. The vision: 48 teams, 104 matches, North America as a beacon of collaboration. Fast forward to today, and that united dream is looking decidedly fractured. The spirit of cooperation has been replaced by tense geopolitics, and the beautiful game is caught in the crossfire. Instead of planning dream trips, fans face a labyrinth of visa applications, fees, and the real possibility of being shut out. The United slogan is now a bitter punchline, especially for millions of fans whose plans are in disarray. While Canada and Mexico roll out the red carpet, the US seems to be bolting the door and charging a fortune just to peek through the keyhole. The dream of United 2020, while United 2026 is on life support, and the world is watching to see if it can be revived. The first major crack in the United facade appeared not on a football pitch, but from a political podium. In September 2025, President Trump publicly floated moving World Cup matches out of U.S. cities he deemed unsafe, naming Seattle and San Francisco. This turned a sporting event into a political football, throwing the tournament's schedule into chaos. FIFA responded swiftly, reminding everyone that only they have the power to move matches, as per ironclad contracts with host cities. FIFA Vice President Victor Montagliani's statement, "Football will outlast government slogans and regimes," became a viral rallying cry. The incident exposed a fundamental tension: U.S. domestic politics versus FIFA's global commitments. For FIFA, the host city agreements are non-negotiable. For the U.S. government, they're political bargaining chips. The fallout was immediate. Excitement gave way to damage control, and trust in the U.S. as a host was shaken. Canada and Mexico seized the moment, presenting themselves as the stable, welcoming partners in this increasingly strained relationship. Beyond politics, a more practical barrier is blocking fans from the American leg of the World Cup, the U.S. visa system. Fans from countries like Nigeria, India, and Brazil are discovering visa interview wait times stretching into 2027, long after the tournament ends. New non-refundable fees of $250 and visa deposits up to $15,000 have turned the dream of attending into an exclusive luxury. For many, the World Cup is now a privilege reserved for the global elite. If you're from the UK or Japan, entry is easy. From the global south, it's a gauntlet of suspicion and cost. This two-tiered system runs contrary to the World Cup's ethos of unity. The message: some fans are more welcome than others. The human cost is immense. Lifelong fans and families are being shut out by bureaucracy. United 2026 was meant to symbolize accessibility. For millions, it now means rejection. The American component of the tournament has come to symbolize exclusion and a broken system. As the U.S. builds bureaucratic walls, Canada and Mexico are seizing the opportunity to welcome the world. Canada has announced no nationality-based restrictions and is offering long-term visas, with a special task force to ensure easy entry for ticket holders. Billions are being invested in infrastructure to handle the influx, with economic benefits projected to soar. Mexico's "No barriers, no borders, just football" campaign is a direct jab at the U.S. situation. Their Ready to Welcome the World initiative promises minimal paperwork and multilingual support. Host cities like Guadalajara and Monterrey are buzzing with upgrades. Ready to welcome fans the U.S. seems keen to turn away. Canada and Mexico are reasserting the World Cup's core values: diversity, joy, and unity. By offering sanctuary to fans locked out of the U.S., they're saving not just travel plans, but the spirit of the event. At FIFA headquarters in Zurich, the U.S. situation has escalated from PR headache to serious operational risk. FIFA's commercial model depends on full stadiums. Empty seats are a financial disaster. With visa chaos threatening attendance, FIFA is activating contingency clauses to potentially relocate matches. High-stakes meetings are underway, weighing the monumental challenge of shifting games to Canada and Mexico. The U.S. is undermining the event's accessibility and financial viability. FIFA is pressuring the U.S. government to reverse course, but must prepare for failure. Plans are being drawn up to increase matches in Vancouver, Toronto, and Mexican cities. The world's most powerful sporting body faces a public, embarrassing reshuffle of its flagship event. The decisions made now will set a precedent for how FIFA handles political interference in the future. The biggest impact is on the fans, whose behavior is shifting dramatically. As news of the US visa blockade spreads, a great fan migration is underway. Travel agencies now advise clients to skip the US and focus on Canada and Mexico, where entry is easy and the welcome is warm. Ticket resale platforms show surging demand for Canadian and Mexican matches, while US interest stagnates. Online searches for Vancouver and Mexico City hotels have skyrocketed. Social media is filled with guides on how to enjoy the World Cup without entering the US. Fans are sharing visa horror stories and celebrating successful entries to Canada and Mexico. This shift is moving economic and cultural capital away from the US. Canada and Mexico are set to capture the energy, diversity, and economic windfall of a truly global crowd. The fans are migrating to where they feel wanted. In the age of social media, the US portion of the World Cup is facing a digital backlash. The United 2026 slogan is now mockingly called Divided 2026 across platforms like X, TikTok, and Reddit. The dominant online conversation is about visa nightmares, fees, and feeling unwelcome. Hashtags like Nalban Boycott USA 2026 are trending, especially among fans from Africa, Asia, and South America. Influencers are posting viral videos about the US visa process and safety concerns. America's reputation for gun violence and political instability is now part of the World Cup narrative. This digital revolt is drowning out official messages of unity and celebration. Negative sentiment threatens ticket sales and brand association for US matches. In today's world, every fan is a journalist and critic. Organizers can't control the narrative. The US is learning that you can't host the world's biggest party if you make it impossible for guests to enter. For corporate sponsors, public perception is everything. Brands like Visa, Coca-Cola, and Adidas are quietly shifting their marketing focus away from the US and toward Canada and Mexico. They're boosting investment in Canadian and Mexican host cities, anticipating higher attendance and more positive fan engagement. Massive fan zones and events planned for US cities may be scaled back, with budgets redirected north and south. Sponsors want to follow the fans, and the fans are migrating. This is an unofficial vote of no confidence in the US as a primary host. For Canada and Mexico, it's a windfall, more tourism dollars, and a bigger share of global marketing spend. The sponsors' actions signal where the true heart of the World Cup will be. As the 2026 World Cup approaches, what began as a celebration of North American unity is now a test of national values. The US risks lasting damage to its reputation as a global host, with billions in tourism and commercial revenue on the line. Host cities may be left with empty hotels and underused facilities, a massive missed opportunity. The divided 2026 narrative could stick, making future mega event bids harder for the US. For Canada and Mexico, this is a nation branding triumph. Their open arms will bring long-term tourism and investment benefits. They'll be remembered as the countries that saved the spirit of the World Cup. This event could cement their status as premier international destinations for years to come. The final whistle will echo as a judgment on what it means to be a host in the 21st century. Will the legacy be walls and bureaucracy, or bridges and open arms? The answer may define North America's place in the world for a generation. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more updates.